Come on in. Come on in. Set a spell with me. Most of you know where you are. If you've never been here before, welcome. You've just walked into Connie's little corner. Close the door, please. It's kind of humid outside, 90 degrees, but it's nice and comfy in here in the 70s with my mini splits running. I've got my morning cup of coffee, my jumbo 26-ounce cup. Compliments of Timu, not the coffee, the cup. And today I have for you a new shop from Whatnot. Now, I got to tell you, I've got several orders from Superbuys, which is the shop that I reviewed in my last video. I've found 5 different shops so far that I've purchased from. Today I'm going to show you number 2. Next video I'll show you shop number 3. I do have their order already. The shipping is just so quick and so fast with every single one of these shops. It's unbelievable. And I have found out some new things about Whatnot that hopefully I'll remember to share with you as we go along. But if you're ready to start, let me first say thank you to those of you that have been here before. Welcome back. It's a bucket hat day. This is my paw print today, and I thought it was cute because it matched what I was wearing. So we're doing the paws. Yes, I'll give you an update on Levi and a little bit of an update on the mama. Maybe a little bit about what's going on around the corner because you haven't seen that in a while. But let's get into this big box. You're going to be surprised at the things that are in this box. Hold on a second. I got to move this box closer. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, this shop is called Sold by Sam. Put it up there. Sold by Sam is a young man. He is an entrepreneur. I would say he's probably in his early 20s. He has been saving up to get his own like little warehouse or unit where he can do this full time. But he has some amazing bargains. Wait till you see what I pull out of this box. Now, all this I got from him. No, let me see. I didn't total it up, but at the end of the video, I'll put the total on the screen for you as to what the retail price is and as to what I paid for this. But I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 items at an unbelievable price. So the first thing I'm going to start with, and I have my little invoice here from Sam. It's so cute. He wrote on the bottom, "Thank you so much, Sam." A little bit of personal touch to it. All right. So I have 2 of these. And these are the 22 fluid ounces of spray and wash. Whoops. And I'm dropping. Sit there for a sec. 2 of them I got from Sam. Now, these spray and wash go for $9.40 retail on average. They came off of Amazon. That's Amazon's price. Amazon's price is better than the price that I get at my local grocery store or at Walmart. So $9.40 each, but I only paid $5 each. And they're brand new, sealed, completely full. So for $10, it's like I bought one and I got the other one free. The difference is what? $9.40 and $9.40, $18.80, as opposed to paying $10 for the 2 of them. So it's almost like getting buy one, get one free. Again, name brands, brand new products, $5 each. I won't have to buy any spray and wash. Years. I don't get a lot of stains on my clothes, but I use it on like Levi's blankets. I use it on the like upholstery covers because Levi sometimes tends to sit on the end of the couch. And of course, he leaves little marks and things there. And I always hit that up with the spray and wash. You never know. I might be outside doing something that's oily or greasy. So comes in handy for when I need it. But hello, $5 a bottle, right? You're not going to believe this stuff that I got. And this just further shows you the differences of the different things that you can get from different shops. Now, These things are all leak, and you can see these priority bags. Sam had these sealed in the priority bags so that they would not leak. That's an extra expense he goes to. These bags are not cheap. That's an extra expense he goes to make sure the products do not leak all over everything in the box or ruin the box for shipping. I love that about him. Okay, so this one, and I can smell this. This smells so good. It's called Crisp Linen. It's laundry sanitizer. It's Lysol brand, right? And it's brand new. It doesn't expire. Doesn't expire, period. I've never known any laundry detergent to expire. Yeah, it doesn't have any kind of a date on it. But this big thing, this is $6.99 at Amazon, and that's what Sam does. He primarily does Amazon pallets. $6.99 is Amazon, $8.99, and in some places over $10 at different grocery stores. But this is $6.99 at Amazon. I paid $7. So technically, a penny. I paid a penny more than what it would have cost me. But I got it delivered to my door. I didn't have to run around looking for it. It was right there. So I paid an equal price on this one, equal to equal. No savings, but convenience? Absolutely. I saved on a lot of other stuff. Wait till you see. So, and this is a big bottle. This is not a little one. This is 41 fluid ounces. You see that? Look at that. 41 fluid ounces. So this is the big bottle. That works for me. All right. Now we're really going to get into the bargains. And you're going to see, like I talked about in my last video, how you kind of have to know what the costs of these things are if you were to go to the store and buy them, so that when you do bid on something, that you know that you're getting either an equivalent price or a real discounted price on them. But what you're about to see are real discount prices. Everything coming up. Look at the size of this bottle of Pantene. 38.2 fluid ounces. All right, this one is volumizing conditioner, which my hair doesn't need. You know, I have long hair, but as you can see, it's even with the curly permanent, it's very fine. So this is a good conditioner, and it's a volumizing conditioner. It is white tea and cucumber, and I can smell it through the lid. I love that. All right. This Pantene, this bottle sells for $21.95 on Amazon. It sells for more than that in the local grocery stores. In some places I found it was $26 and $27. And depending on where you shop, it may even be more than that. But $21.95 value, I got it for $6. 14, almost $15 savings on this. Actually, $15 plus change. Almost $16 now that I think about it. But anyway, $15 and a nickel. Look at this. I saved that much on this. This is the only one he had, because if he had had more, I would have bought more at $6 a pop versus $21.95. Seriously, guys. Still sealed, still new. Who can't use Pantene? Is a great conditioner. All right. This is what I feel is my second best deal from any place that I've shopped on Whatnot, but definitely my second best deal from Sam. Again, the Pantene and these were in a sealed bag so they would not leak. Love that idea. Have you ever shopped for these? Fructis Mega Full Thickening Lotion. All right, this is a 5-ounce bottle, extra strong hold, level number 3. Thickening lotion, right? I never bought these because I couldn't technically afford them. On average, these things were more than $20 a bottle. Let me find out exactly how much they were. I wrote it down. $24.99 for 5 ounces. Now, I did find them in a couple of places for like $17, $18 for a single bottle. And I'm like, all right, but even that is a high price. But at Amazon, they're $24.99 each. I got two brand new bottles, and this one I took the cap off of, and then I dropped it on the floor. It's under the coffee table. I haven't picked it up yet. Levi's guarding it. But can you guess what I paid for these two bottles? Typically, they're $24.99 each. I paid $8 for the two bottles. So I paid $4 each. That's a $20 savings per bottle. I saved over $40 just on these two. These are great. If you've never, the Mega Full Thickening Lotion, all right, and it says here, wishing for volume that only looks bigger but feels thicker, Mega Full is a new generation ultralight thickening lotion that creates body and fullness for hair that will feel thicker, ultra soft, and natural movement. And it tells you how it works. You start with the damp hair and make sure it's detangled. Then you spray the product evenly throughout the hair from mid shaft to ends. So you don't spray it against your scalp. You spray it from halfway out. Mid shaft is literally halfway out your hair and then spray it. So I haven't done it yet. I did just get out of the shower a little while ago, but my hair is already dry. So, but anyway, $4 a bottle versus $20 a bottle, or versus any price you can find these per bottle. Seriously. Sam, you outdid yourself on this. When he pulled them up and said two of them, and he ran that auction, I think he started that auction at like $3 or $5, something like that. But it was a 2-pack. I didn't buy them separately. He wrapped them together and I bought them together. $8 total for both. Is that not a deal? I need coffee. How you doing? Oh my goodness. All right. Let's get into what else I got from Sam. Oh, I'll show you those in a minute. Let's get into what else I got from Sam. Solar lights. Brand new in box. 2 solar spotlights. Brand new. These sell for $26.99. I got that for $8. And the price I'm giving you was before tax or shipping or anything like that. But my entire shipping for this full order was only $9.41. I already covered that with just one of these. So yeah, so don't worry about it. All right, so this is a 2-pack, brand new in box. Comes with this. It says, thank you for choosing Bright Town. It gives you how to contact the manufacturer if you need that. It tells you about the warranty on here if you need that. So this warranty is, let me see, 15 months warranty. That's really good warranty on solar lights. 15 months. Wow. And then they have a Facebook group. Look at that right there. That if you join their Facebook group, you can start testing their products for free. Keeping that card handy. You know how I am about solar. All right. 2 big, thick steaks. Really big, thick steaks. And as you can see, I'm unboxing this stuff right in front of you. I haven't unboxed it yet. As I see it, you're seeing it. All right, let's take that off there. Let's pull these out. Set that box down. Hopefully I won't be dropping stuff on the floor today. Nicely covered and wrapped. Now, it's got the tab, so it's not going to work until you actually pull that. But these are meant to go in the ground. You have your adjustable here so that you can turn this up or down depending. You tighten it where you want it. If you want it to point upwards, if you want it to point downwards. You have your solar thing, so if the sun comes out from behind it, that's fine. If the sun comes from the top, you can do it that way. So you can adjust your little solar panel, and it's automatically going to be on when you pull this little tab. And then here's the switch where if you need to open it to get to the battery, there's your battery inside. So it makes everything here is easily accessible. Get that closed back up. And I'm going to pull the tab on this one. And then I'm going to cover the top. There you go. She's already solar charged. And that's pretty bright. Pretty bright. I like that. Oops, I caught a piece of wire there. Let's tuck that wire back inside so nothing happens to it. There we go. So, fully charged. Watch your eyes. Super, super bright. These are going to go out the back of the house because when I go down the back stairs, I have my whole big yard out there. And if I get too far away from the house, I have no light. So these are going to go out there to point some light in the direction of the yard. So there's that one. We know that one works. Let's take a look at this one. Make sure this one works as well. I'm just going to pull the tab. I think I'm going to pull the tab. Guess I got to open it so I can pull the tab. There we go. All right. Put the battery back down in there. Make sure the wires are all tucked inside, nice and neat. And let's see. Yep. This one's charged and ready to go too. Super bright on these. Nice, sturdy, thick stakes. I like that. They're only about a 6-inch stake, but it's heavy enough to do the job. I like that I can angle this any place I want it, and I can angle the head any place I want it. So those are 2 stakes. And as I said, with these, they sell for $26.99, and I only paid $8 for it. That's an $18, almost $19 savings. It comes with your little instruction book, your installation overview. I don't think we really need that for solar lights. It's pretty much plug and play, right? But let's see what the box says about the information on it. These are LED solar energy. They are 40 lumens. The battery is included. It turns on at dusk. It is waterproof and solar rechargeable. And I'm looking to see how long the light will stay on. Okay, install the solar light in full direct sunlight. Let it charge for 10 to 12 hours before the first time use. So I'll put it out there in a couple of minutes and it'll have about 10 hours to charge. It will run for at least 8 to 12 hours after dusk. Wow. That's like through the entire night. Well, through my night. So that's a long time. This is bright, warm light, 3000, right, which is 40 lumens. It is bright. When you say 3000 and it's 40 lumens, that's seriously bright. Okay. What do you think about that deal? I'm thrilled with that. I seriously am. I've been looking at these spotlights. You know what? Temu has something like this, but they have a much cheaper version. And when I say cheaper, I mean both financially and quality. These are solid. Look at these things. Look at how this is reinforced with these ridges. It's got the lens protector extruding over the top of it, so anything coming down is not going to hit that lens or that bulb. It's got a nice, big, thick, solid stake. It's got a nice, solid bolt to it. This is on a nice, solid pin here. Everything about this just screams quality. I'm glad I waited and found this. And thank you, Sam, for having that available. That was a bargain. Yeah. All right. Let's get into more stuff. This was a heavy box. What do you think so far, guys? Right? Okay, this next box. Hold on, I gotta pull it out and find out what I got here. Nope, that's not it. That's it. Oh, there it is. Okay, this item is a $49.99 item. They don't sell this at Temu. They only sell this at a couple of the stores, which at other stores it actually cost more than $50, more than $49.99. This is a mechanical speaker. This is a Bluetooth wireless speaker. I got this for the front porch or for the backyard. Depending on where I am, I can move it around with me. And I'm trying to shake it out of the box because the lid of the box slides over it. Okay. Let's put you right up there for now. It comes with your little introductory, your book for how to do it, how to set it up, quick installation, what all your different knobs and things are for on this. And you're saying, okay, let's take a look at this. Well, I had to have this because this was one of the most unique looking speakers I've ever found. Are you a Star Wars fan by any chance? Y'all know who R2D2 is? And C3PO? Look at this speaker. Holy crap, this thing is heavy. So this thing weighs about 4 pounds. This is solid metal. There's no plastic on here. This is all metal. And I don't have anything to bang against it so you can hear it. Solid metal. Very, very heavy. So in the back here, it's got your volume. And then on the sides, it's got your controls here and your controls here. It's a speaker is on that side, so you can see the mesh over the speaker. It's got good solid legs on it. So it's, because of the weight, it's not going anywhere, but it's so small. The whole thing is maybe 5.5 inches tall, oh, not quite 6 inches tall if you count the handle, and it's about 5.5 inches at the widest spot. It comes with not one, but 2 cables so that you can connect whatever you might need to connect to it. Here's your charging port right back there. That's your power source. All right. It comes with, let me see. Depending on what your system is that you use, it comes with 2 different adapters. So it's got your C adapter, USB to Type C adapter, and then it's got your Type C to male. So you've got 2 different things. So depending on what you may be plugging it into, or if you have to plug it into anything at all, if you want to connect your devices, you have the necessary cords for that. I am going to experiment with this thing, but I got to show you this. Hold on a second. Look at these rivets. Look at this. All these metal rivets in here. Look at that. Can you tell that this is all metal? Can you see? This thing is heavy. My hand's getting tired from holding it up. This has about, yeah, this is easily 4 pounds, 3 to 4 pounds, easily. Seriously, anything that you need, your power button is up here on top. Your little carry thing. I can't wait to start trying this out. So I've just opened this. I'm not going to take time and experiment with it here with us and waste time doing that. I will go through all the directions. I will figure out how to get it connected. And because my laptop that I record on doesn't record like background music or any too many sounds of any type, what I'll do is I'll use my phone to record the results of this so that you can hear it, so to speak, see it in action. But there's all your controls, your volume control, all your other settings, and this nice little compact speaker. Again, this speaker sells for $50, $49.99. You ready for what I paid for it? $4. $4, guys. $4. That's not a typo. $4. It went up for auction. I was the only one bidding on it. I got it for $4. It's 90% off. Seriously. If you're looking for a lot of electronics and things like that, and a variety, look at the things that I've gotten. But look at the savings. It's hot. I should pull my hair up, but I wanted to have a bucket hat on today. So the savings is just incredible at whatnot. As long as you go, as I stated before, you go to the premier shops and you start with them until you get a feel, and then you'll eventually start getting a feel for different shops. You pop in, you watch the shop for a while, you see what's going on, and then you decide if that's a shop you want to go to. Then you can follow it and know when it's up. So far, with all the hundreds of shops that are there, I've only found 5, I think, that I feel I can trust to shop from again, depending on what I'm looking for. And as you can see, they all carry different stuff. You've seen the stuff I've gotten from Superbuys, but look at the high cost electronic things I've gotten from Sold by Sam, and I've gotten them for pennies on the dollar. Okay, 2 more things in this box. Now, this one, I'm debating on whether or not I'm actually going to use it. I don't want to put this in the middle of the video, but I have to in order to explain this item. So this is a memory foam dog bed. Medium-sized dog bed, which is for, when they say medium size, they mean anything from 40 pounds to about 70 pounds. So that's Levi's range. It's a little bit smaller than the bed he has, but considering I have about a third of his bed that he doesn't even sleep on, I know he can use a medium. But this is a memory foam dog bed. And I'll put a picture up here so that you can see exactly what it looks like. It comes with a nice cover, nice foam backing. He's having difficulty lately getting comfortable on the regular elevated bed that it has. He needs that extra cushion simply because his belly is so swollen and he can't, it's hard for him to find a comfortable spot, right? But because of things that have happened in the past week with Levi, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually unroll this. It does come with a dark gray cover. I may save it for his predecessor, but I'll make that decision within the next couple of days. And I will fill you on a little bit later in the video as to what's going on with Mr. Levi's. But this will give you an idea. There's no picture. There we go. There's a picture of what the bed looks like down here in the corner. That's the finished product. It literally looks like a little sofa. And it's right at ground level, but it's memory foam so that it will give him good cushion and good support no matter where he lays on it. It walks you through how to put it together, what to do with the different pieces of foam. It's all there. Now, this is not cheap. Have any of you looked at memory foam dog beds? This particular dog bed, and it comes with a fleece cover. This gray cover here is fleece. So it's really, really soft. This sells at Amazon for $59.99. So say $60. It's a lot more than that at pretty much any place else that you look. So Amazon did have the best deal on these particular dog beds. I got this bed and instead of paying $60, this cost me $35. So not quite 50% off, but there's no way I would have found this bed anyplace else for $35. So I will decide in the next day or so whether or not I'm going to open this up for Mr. Levi or not, because the next day or so will be very decisive around this house for a lot of things that are going on. But that's still a savings. $60, a $60 item, getting it for only $35. And that $60, as I said, is cheaper than you're going to find it most any place else. Oh, I'm shedding. Oh, my hair is all over the place. Why didn't you tell me I was shedding? Didn't you see that? You're too busy looking at my bucket hat, right? I know, it matches my chair, it matches my pillow. All right. The last thing in the box from Sam, sold by Sam. You are not going to believe this. All right. Now, I just bought a extendable, like 5 foot, 6 foot, whatever, tripod to use for this channel to help me when I'm doing things. And I have found that it's working perfectly for what I had gotten it for. So I'm very happy with that. But a few people, both viewers, my neighbors, some of my friends said, you know what, you should get one of these so that you don't have to worry about setting up a camera. You don't have to hold a camera, but you can record what you're doing. And I said, what is that? A drone. Ruco makes one of the best drones out there. This is a fly anywhere, fly anytime drone. They say age 14 and up, but I'm going to have to figure it out. This has a greater than 250 ultra light. All right, so its weight is not heavy. It has a 4K UHD camera built right into it. It is a brushless motor, so it's super, super quiet. And it has GPS control for altitude. So you can program this drone. This obviously is something that I am going to be experimenting with the help of one of my neighbors. I've already talked to him about it. He used to have a drone, and unfortunately, when he relocated, it got stolen. So he did offer to help, but it comes in this nice Ziploc little bag. And you're all thinking, Connie, why do you need a drone? Hands-free, right? So I don't have to worry about setting up a camera, having a camera knocked over. Let me pull this out. It comes in this beautiful case. Look at this case. That drone is in this tiny little case. This is a nice cloth canvas type case. There's all our pieces. Let's take a look. Little screwdriver to assemble things. Power cord. Let's take it out of the plastic. I didn't bring Charlie over here with me or my scissors, so I'm just going to have to rip into it. And I know some of you are going, oh my God, that must have cost you a fortune. So you've got double power cords. They're both the same. They're both USB, all right, to Type C. Well, USB to this unit. Bear with me here. I'll put these down. These are the batteries for it. It comes with 2 batteries, which is great. The battery time, flying time on this, on one battery, is 60 minutes. That's an hour. Charging the drone battery must be supervised by an adult. Oh gosh, who am I going to get to supervise me? Don't know. Unplug the battery when fully charged. No kidding, right? Let's take a look at these batteries. That's it. Small and light. Slides into place in the drone. And there are 2 of them. So you have a backup battery if you do need to charge it. 2 batteries. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay. And then we have the blade, and I'm not going to take this out of the box because I don't really want anything to happen to it. Well, I'll show it to you, but then I'll put it right back in the box. So these are your blade. You have to assemble the blade. Can you see all the different, there's like 4 pieces, I believe, of blades that you hook onto the center. So that's your blade for assembly. Obviously, it has to have a blade like a helicopter or it won't lift off. The pieces just keep coming. This is the body of your drone, your side arms. Be careful when you open it so you don't get them all crossed up. There you go. Your battery goes in here, slides in there. This is it. That's how big this thing is. Looks like a little spider. Not very big at all. Closes up nice and small for storage. Look at that. I'm going to put that right back into this safety bag here. Have you all figured out how much this thing is worth yet? All you have to really do is look up a Ruco and get an idea how much. Okay. This is just safety cushions, safety padding. There's the instructions that come here. These are little pads that you need in place. And this is the camera. This is your remote control. So it's a little joystick. This is how you control this, up and down, just like a little game controller. The power button right there. Oh, it just beeped. I didn't think it was going to beep. It just beeped. I don't know what's beeping, if it's the unit or if it's the camera. So, and then it gives you your other directional controls here. And it gives you your camera functions over here. So you have everything that you need right there. There's your charging port right here. So that's why you have the 2 cables. One for your remote to make sure it's charged, and the other for your unit. But look at that. And the camera is built in to the bigger unit. Let me put this back down here in the bottom, and I'll show you that give me just a second here. Make sure this is tucked back in. You tuck these batteries and everything else back in the side here. Don't want to lose anything. All right. So your camera is built in to this. There's your eye. Can you see the eye? This is where your camera is. Everything is built into this. There's your actual camera lens in here. So you're going to be flying this way. And this is where your camera is going to be taking the images from. Right there in the front. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let me wrap that back up. I don't want any of these blades or anything to snap off and get broken, but it gives you those 4 or 5 extra blades in case you do need them, which is a bonus. So you have your 2 charging cords, you have your extra blades, you have 2 batteries, and you have your remote control. You have a nice pocket here in the front of the case as well for anything that you might want to store. And you have this beautiful case, so I don't have to keep a big box laying around. I'll hang on to the box just in case something happens to this. But, guys, Are you ready for the bottom dollar on this? This is going to be fun for me to figure out how to make use of this and to test it out because I live in such a beautiful rural area. Literally, there's a small lake, maybe a 5-minute walk from me. There's a pond here in my community. There's just so much around me. And with the traveling I plan on doing, you can bring drones. I don't know if TSA allows them on carry-on, but you can bring drones with you. It's like bringing camera equipment, right? So this particular model of this drone sells on Amazon for $209.98. It can sell for up to $275 at other places. So let's say $209.98 or $210. I paid only $75 for this. Right? That's a third the price. I got like 66% off. I paid about 33% of the actual retail price for this. $75 for a $210 item. What do you think? I'd love to hear all your comments about these savings and these values that I got from Sold by Sam. This is absolutely incredible. Things that I wanted for the house, the Pantene, the hair items, the laundry stuff, the two of these, right? Everything that I got for the house. Levi's new bed, or the new dog bed. I don't know if I call it Levi's new bed, but the dog bed. And this above all else. The savings on this alone, $150, roughly $140 I saved on this. 75 bucks. Sam had it listed for a different price. I made him an offer and he took it. He said, yep, sure, you got it. I had bought all these other things from him. This is how he takes care of his buyers. If there's something on Sam's, what they call bin, buy it now, BIN, in his shop, in any shop, if they have a bin, you'll see it listed on the side of the screen. You just click on that and it'll show you certain items that they have listed for certain prices. This, among other things, was listed in there. And when I saw this, it immediately spoke to me and said, this is what everyone's been telling you that you need to have. Simply because I don't record with my regular camera. I record with my laptop. So I have to figure this out. This is going to take a lot, but the amount of money that I saved on this, guys, Sam will take care of you. If there's something, as I said, if there's something that you want, you can make him an offer. If his buy now system won't accept the offer you want to put out there, then you could put your offer in the chat and say, hey, like I did, I'm interested in the drone. What's your bottom dollar on the drone? You know, what price will you give me on the drone? And when he said 75 bucks, my answer was like, sold. I didn't even have to think about it. So that's pretty incredible. The speaker, the cost of the speaker, the savings on that, the savings on the drone, the only thing I didn't save on that I broke even on was this, but that's okay. At least I didn't overpay. I don't count penny being overpaying, right? So that's my order from Sold by Sam. Holy cow. I will put the figures up here as to what the value is prior to tax, just the item itself. I'll put the value up here of what the value is from Amazon, because obviously that's where the stuff is coming from. I'll give you a total of what I paid and then a total of what my savings were so that you can decide whether or not you think it's actually worth it. But Sold by Sam gets my vote. I've looked at his show a few more times. I don't know if I have any other items coming from him. I'll have to check. I like to try to diversify it a little bit. But I want to go back and show you something. And the reason I'm going to show this to you is because I've already had this open, giving this to Mr. Levi. At Superbuys, in my second order from Superbuys, which is the other big boxes sitting down here that we'll get into in the next video, I had gotten some treats for Levi. And I got 4 of them, 4 bags of them. All right. 40 count, 40 count bag, beef flavored dental sticks by Wonder Bound. All right. Now, Wonder Bound is for reducing plaque and freshening breath, whatever the case may be. But they are all natural. They do have that seal. They are made in the United States, in Seattle, Washington. Right? So they come from the US. There's 76 calories per stick, and there's 40 in here. And these are like licorice whips, beef flavored. Oh, he just picked his head up and said, I see that, Mommy. Beef flavored licorice whips. And he loves these. Fortunately for me, I bid on 4 bags. I got 4 bags. Each bag sells for about $11.99, roughly $12. I only paid $4 per bag. So I got 4 bags, 3 bags for the price of one, and then $4 for an extra bag. So that's a deal. And best of all, he loves them. There you go, baby boy. He picks, he just picks it up and he runs into the bedroom with it. Dogs tend to do that when there's something that they don't want to risk having to share. They'll, they don't want anybody to take from them. In other words, they take possession of it. He does that every time I give that to him. So he absolutely loves those. So I thought I would just share that with you. All right. So that takes care of the order. What is my opinion of Sold by Sam? A plus, great communication, willing to bargain, willing to cancel a bid. If you bid on something and then all of a sudden you realize, you ask another question about it, you go, hey, wait a minute. And there's something about it that maybe it's not right. He will cancel your bid if you do it during the same show that you bid on it. In other words, you can't let the show close, because once it's closed, all bids are final. But Sam will cancel your bid if you do it during that same live show, right? Or he'll swap it out. Now, there was someone else in the show when I was there that had bid on something and said, oops, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted that other one that you showed. Sam said, no problem. He just simply swapped them out. He swapped them in his inventory, he swapped them out. It was good to go. No fuss, no muss. Packing, as you saw, impeccable. Everything that could leak or might leak, he had wrapped separately in those priority bags so that nothing interfered with any of the electronics or anything else in this box. The shipping, again, the entire massive box, all these heavy things, $9.71 for the shipping. Yes, of course, I pay tax on all the items, but you pay tax no matter what you get, right? Okay. Packaging, excellent. Communication, excellent. He reads the chat notes. He constantly keeps his eye on those chat notes. Great prices, willing to negotiate on a price for something. And he doesn't take offense if you have him show something, or what they call run it. In other words, put it out there and run it for the auction. If nobody buys it, he doesn't take offense if you wanted to see something and then don't buy it. He just moves on to the next item, right? Very personable young man. Very polite. The man, he has manners. He has manners. And that's something you notice right off the bat, his whole demeanor. So everything about shopping there, from the prices to the shipping to just being very customer oriented and trying to work with his shoppers and give good deals, make special deals on things like he did for me on that, right? Seriously, on that drone. I can't believe it. Yeah. So I highly recommend Sold by Sam. Go to Whatnot, type in Sold by Sam. He doesn't do shows every day, but he does many shows during the week. I think either yesterday or today he did a Christmas in July. He's got more shows coming up. You can always put something in the chat if you're looking for something in particular. And if he has it or has had it, in other words, it's maybe on a shelf on the other side of the room or something that he's just not presenting it, you can ask for anything that you might be looking for that you want to see. And by all means, you tell him Konnee sent you. And again, my username there is Konnee Kon. It's KonneeKon, like Comic Con, but spelled my way. So Konnee Kon, you can just say, hey, Konnee sent me. He's always happy to have new followers. I would definitely recommend that you follow his channel. All right, so let's find out what's been going on just around the corner. We haven't talked about it in a while. And hopefully I'll get this video close to an hour, not as long as the last one was. So the first thing I did is that little piece of cabinet trim when I put in my swing up shelf by my range, that little piece of trim I had to tuck back in. I finally found my wood glue. I got that back in. That's finished. It's those little tedious things that drive me nuts. Do you ever get like 99% done on a project, and then for whatever reason you stop and you don't finish that last little detail? Well, I finally got that little detail done so I can completely check that thing off my list. So, and it looks pretty good because now you're not seeing the yucky part from when it came off. You don't see anything. I also started working outside. I have a corner spot, and because I am so rural, the grass, and you may even see this even if you're not rural, even if you're like suburban, your grass starts growing out into the road, and it kind of gets like these little fingers and it starts growing out beyond the edge. That drives me nuts, right? I like my lawn, my edges nice and trimmed up, so that people can see that I'm taking good care of my home, taking good care of my property. So the front was really getting to me because it was a good 18 inches, if not more, beyond beyond where the road meets the driveway, beyond where the road stops and the grass starts. So I went out yesterday and just this, and I'll show you, here's the whole thing, but just doing half of that was 20 bucketfuls, that big orange Home Depot bucket that I had gotten from Temu, filling that thing halfway, because when you start scraping everything up, it's mostly dirt that kind of runs off and then the grass grows into the dirt. So 20 half buckets. And that's only as far as I got yesterday. I knew I had to take a break today because my back was going to be killing me. But the first thing I did is I took my little edge that I got from Temu. And as you can see here, I made myself a groove or a line to follow. But the dirt was deeper than the blade on the trimmer. So I couldn't go all the way down to the road. I'm doing the rest of that by using, something's beeping and I have no idea what it is. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. That's weird. Okay. It was the joystick for the drone that was beeping. I had forgotten to push the power button and turn it off, so it was beeping, letting me know that it was running out of power. That's a good feature. I like that. So anyway, I was edging the roadside. I got about half of it done, and it's already looking so much better. My neighbor actually came out and commented that just how good it looked. And of course, I will finish the rest of it, but it's a lot of back-breaking work because I have to chop along that edge and then shovel, kind of force it up and shovel it up. And then I have to carry the bucket about 100, almost 200 feet off to the side where I can actually dump the dirt and what I'm taking up from that spot and get it out of the way. And it's like a lot of work. You do 5 shovelfuls, you fill half the bucket, you walk. You do 5 shovel. It's good exercise, though. It's great for the arms. It's been a little rough on the back, but I'm managing. My so-called lily of the valley that turned out to be cherry tomatoes. Obviously, we're getting too big for what I had them planted in. So I transplanted them into that hanging basket that I got. I'd gotten a good big bag of soil, so I put some stones in the bottom to help improve the drainage a little bit more. And then I filled it deep with about 6 inches worth of the soil. I put the tomato plants in there, and then I turned it into a self-wicking or self-watering container because those hanging baskets, they don't hold water. All right. I know that's coconut fiber in there, but in a day, whatever you water will dry out and you have to water them constantly. I've never had any luck keeping anything growing successful in there because they dry out too fast. So I turned it into self-wicking. I put it in the big aluminum bowl that I had gotten from Temu to make my dough and whatnot in. I filled that bowl with water. It's watering them from the bottom. I also have it sitting out on the front porch on the table that I made. So when it rains, the water does come in through the screen and it waters them from the top. They're doing great. They're thriving. And there's even a couple more coming up than what was there. So making a self-watering pot is really easy to do. Now, those mystery plants that were supposed to be hostas, they turned out 95% chance that they're hibiscus. I have transplanted them in. They're doing beautiful because we've had a little bit of rain every day, just enough to keep them, and they've almost doubled in size since I put them into the ground. I took new pictures of them, ran them on the plant apps, and it's still coming up as hibiscus. But one of them that has the more red veins is coming up as one type of hibiscus, and then the other ones are coming up as another type of hibiscus. It's okay. I like hibiscus, period. They're beautiful. I don't care what colors they come up. They're going to be a nice filler plant. They're doing good, but I cannot and will not 100% say that they actually are hibiscus until they get much bigger and I see what they're doing with how their stems are coming up, if they have fuzzy stems or what the leaves look like as adult leaves. So stay tuned for the mystery flowers. We'll figure out what they are. All right. Now, my watermelons, I've got about a dozen of them. The biggest one right now is about the size of a grapefruit. The smallest one is about the size of a lime or a lemon. So they're growing at different rates, but they're all growing very, very well. And I can see that there's going to be a whole bunch more coming out. So I kind of leave them be. The grass behind the shed is coming up nicely. The first section I did is coming up much thicker the second time around. And then the second section I did is coming up really, really nice for only being like, I think it's been about 2 weeks now, 2 full weeks. And that's coming up good. So I'm just going to leave that alone, keep it watered, let it go. I'm not even going to rake up the straw in it. I'm just going to let that go for maybe probably till the end of August before I even try to rake up any of the straw that's in there. So it's doing exactly what I wanted to do. So that's doing good. My one green pepper is starting to turn red, which it should be because I planted sweet red peppers. And now they all start out green. No matter what you plant, they all start out green. And then they change to their color, whether it be yellow or orange or red. Well, it's starting to get a definite red hint to it. I'm so excited. I'm not going to jinx it. I didn't take any pictures for you, but I'm keeping an eye on it. It's only this one lonesome pepper survived being overwatered. So we're going to cross our fingers that it continues to grow like that. All right. So it's doing good. The front gardens, the flowers, the bird of paradise, the giant musifolias, everything is just getting bigger by the day. The musifolias now, one of them is almost 5 feet tall and getting a new leaf coming up the center. They all come up like little cones and then they open up. So that's growing good. They're growing at different rates. The azaleas have got shoots on them about 6 inches high that all of a sudden just sprouted up new growth on those. And the dark lord rhododendron is doing beautiful. So everything looks really good. I'll do pictures, down the road of everything because I'm pretty sure you don't need to see pictures every single time, but they're doing good. My next year's goal, which I've already kind of got in my head, my next year's goal is that instead of putting the tomatoes in the ground where they are just not going to get enough drainage when we have these super, super wet springs and early summers, I'm going to try to do everything in raised beds. So I will be looking, I look on Marketplace, or I might check different places online, and see if I can get more raised beds. I really don't care what color they are because I can always get Rust-Oleum and just paint them brown or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to be looking for a couple of more rectangular beds, a couple of more round beds, and put everything up in the beds because the plants that are in the raised beds are doing great. Tomatoes that were in the ground, not so good. The plants are dead. I got 4 little tomatoes off it though. That's my silver lining. So, needless to say, I am very grateful for the successes that I've had with my garden. I've only been in this home, in this place, working on my outside for, say, March, April, May, June, 4.5 months. Technically 4 months since I started working because everything had to be graded and whatnot. So it's just in 4 months, I'd love to think that I've made a lot of progress. So I'm very grateful and very thankful for the successes that I've had. The front lawn looks great. The front of the house looks good. The house looks good at night with all the solar lights, properly placed and neatly placed around it. I also feel very safe because of having those lights around it. And I have great neighbors that obviously are paying attention because they're always complimenting me on this, that, or the other thing that I've done outside. So as you know, I'm always trying to find the joy and I'm trying to find the silver lining behind everything, even if that silver lining means I've learned something new. For example, the tomatoes. I've learned that I can't put tomatoes in the ground here and because there's just not enough drainage. So my silver lining is okay, there's my lesson. Next year, I'm going to have a bumper crop because now I know what to do in this area. I've never lived in Alabama before. It's very similar to upstate New York, especially this time of year. But I got to figure things out. I've got to get to know my home site, my new area. So I am all set with that. I haven't spoken to Mama yet today, but it's early. I will try to get in touch with her when this video is uploading. Then I'll give her a call and have some contact with her because I miss her. She has been someone I don't even know who has been started taking her to church, not every Sunday, but at least a couple, like every other Sunday or a couple of times a month, which is something she's really wanted. Mama has always been a church goer. And when I was there, as you guys know, if you were watching Sundays with Mama, you knew that our routine was I'd pick her up, we'd go to church, we'd come back to my house, we'd have our lunch together, we'd fix lunch together, and then we sit down and do our Sunday with Mama Timu hauls. So we had that routine and she loved that she was going to church every Sunday. When I left, that all stopped. Nobody took her. Now all of a sudden, not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, somebody took her, and I believe this morning somebody also took her. So no news is good news. As far as I know, I will talk to her, but when I do talk to her, she's been doing very well. She sounds good. Her sense of humor is intact. Um, you've heard me mention Robert, who is our friend that helped with the visit when I went down to see Mom. He's the one who does the video calls. His wife is the new house manager there, and she is wonderful. Nothing like the one that used to be there. His wife as the house manager is all about family connections and doing the right thing for family and doing the right thing and treating everybody on an individual basis and not stereotyping everybody. It's like, oh, well, you're just old or you're this, or you're just that. She's like, nope. Okay. This is Angel and this is what Angel needs. And this is so and this is what he needs. And this is her and what she needs. So she makes it a point to look at everybody at an individual basis, which is exactly how it should be. She doesn't stereotype everybody. She sees everybody for who they are, what their individual desires are, what they like and don't like. Like she knows mom does not like raw bananas, but she knows mom loves banana muffins or banana bread. So she won't ever even offer mom a banana. But if she makes banana bread, mama gets a hot slice right out of the oven. That's made me so happy. Since she got promoted, she took all the necessary tests. She's totally certified to be a house manager for assisted living. She's now in charge of handling all the medications and all the medical records. All the big decisions fall to her, and I could not be happier about that. She so deserves it. And I'm so glad that she got it. Right. So that's pretty good news, right? Okay. The last thing before I sign off is I want to give you an update on Mr. Levi. A little more than a week ago, about 9 days ago, Levi went to the vet for a checkup. I think I might have told you about that in Wednesday's video. No, I didn't, because I didn't do any of this in my last video. His blood work came back, no changes. Again, no changes. So everything was looking good. His liver has enlarged more so. And I think I did mention to you that the liver is like a big muscle and it just gets, the more you work it, the bigger it gets, and it's not going to rupture. But what has happened in the past week? Levi has had a very scary, a very rough week. And I'm not even sure he's out of the woods or ever will be at this point. A couple days after that visit, all of a sudden he started not wanting to eat. And I would put his favorite foods in his dish and he wouldn't touch it. And when he did eat, within 5 minutes, he'd turn around and throw it right back up again. He wasn't keeping anything down. And because he wasn't getting any solids, he was just drinking water. Obviously, at the other end, everything was liquefied, which was not good. So in order to handle that problem, the first thing you have to do with any dog that has that issue is they have to fast for 24 hours. You can't feed them. You have to let their system recover from that. Well, this is a dog that's dying from cancer, and not giving him food for 24 hours was the hardest thing I had to do. Then I started him on the brat diet, which is bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast that you would give any kid to try to get them normal again. That didn't work. So I did that for almost 3 days. And then I switched him over to boiled chicken and white rice. Well, that started to help. However, I couldn't put a serving in his dish because he would gobble it up and it was too much food. Even though it was only maybe half a cup, it was still too much and he wouldn't keep it down. What the best I can figure is, because of the placement of the liver to the stomach, is that it's putting pressure on his internal organs. It's putting pressure on his stomach, and his stomach just cannot accommodate a normal amount of food anymore. It's being kind of misshapen and pushed out of the way, which I did a little research and I did find out that that's very common with dogs that have an enlarged liver, is that they have to have minute portions, like no more than maybe 4 ounces at a time or 6 ounces at a time, max. So what I started doing the past few days is I would cook up some chicken, cut it in chunks, and hand feed him the amount that I thought was enough. You know, in other words, like the equivalent of 1 chicken tender. And then 2 hours later, I'd give him the equivalent of another chicken. So every 2 hours, giving him a little bit. And I'm finding he's able to keep it down that way. And he's starting to get more solidified because now he's gotten some solids in his system. But it's still, if he eats too much too fast, it doesn't stay. It's almost like he's anorexic or bulimia. But his body's just doing it naturally because he is hungry and he does want to eat. So, of course, if he just gobbles, and then he regrets it. And then it breaks my heart because my dog's not getting the nutrition that he needs. So what I've started doing is, again, hand feeding him the chicken, couple of spoonfuls of white rice with a little bit of ricotta cheese melted into it, every couple of hours. These Denta that I showed you that look like the beef licorice for the dogs, I give him one of those every couple of hours. He loves that. His favorite pork chomps, not chops, chomps with an M in there. He likes those. So every couple of hours, I'll give him one of those. I'm happy with anything that he eats at this point. And I'm happy if he's starting to keep it down and maybe come back a little normal. But I don't hold much hope that he's going to ever improve from this. This is going to be an ongoing thing. And I have noticed that he can't get comfortable on his bed anymore. The bloating in his stomach from the size of his liver is making it difficult for him to lay down and get comfortable. It's putting pressure on his organs. He gets me up at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock every morning because he just can't hold for 12, 14 hours like he used to. There's no room in his internal cavity for him to do that anymore. So I am unfortunately at that point that I have to make that decision that, we all dread when it comes to our pets. And I'm going to talk to the vet tomorrow. It may be as soon as this week that I send Levi to go be with Sadie. But I have to do what's best for him, not what's best for me. Sorry. If you saw me, what I went through with Sadie, you know why I'm emotional. When Sadie passed, I had Levi there for comfort and support. But when Levi is gone, it's going to be just me. So I have to figure out if this is the time, when is the time, how much time. I'm going to talk to the vets about it, get some input from the vet as to any other things that I can possibly do, because he and I had talked about palliative care or comfort care, but Levi's turn was so sudden and so quick when all this started. I don't know if there's going to be any such thing as palliative care or comfort care. And I think the best comfort that I can do for him is not expecting him to continue in this manner. So I will keep you posted on that. Keep him in your prayers, that whatever decision mommy makes is going to be the right one for the boy. Okay? Oh, gosh. Sorry, guys. What can I say? Fur babies, my kids. So anyway, not counting this part, give a big thumbs up for the rest of the video. Go check out Sold by Sam at Whatnot. Tell him Konnee sent you. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, by all means, please consider doing so. There's going to be a lot of different stuff coming on here, a lot of different sellers and shopping places I'm going to show you. There's going to be more things coming around the corner. And as you can tell by what I'm getting product-wise from Whatnot, you can tell that I'm making modifications, doing things that I need around the house. And yeah, I know my walls may not be done for a year. So you know what? Don't even worry about looking at the sheetrock behind me. That's not a priority. Right now, outside's a priority. Getting some of the things I need done is a priority. And there's something that's going to be coming up in August that I'm hoping to be able to make a priority. Hoping. Thank you for watching. Your views, your likes, your thumbs up when you look at a video, and your comments help move this video into the algorithm so more people can see it, so my monetization is better, and that I have the funds to bring things like this to you. I want you to know, too, that those of you that are supporting my channel through buymeacoffee.com at Konnee's Little Corner, all those funds have been going back into the business, and some of them, I have a couple of you that are regular contributors that are set up, that you set yourselves up on an automatic monthly donation. Those donations have been going towards Levi's care because his medical expenses, his monthly testing, blood work, sonograms, special foods, prescriptions, everything is running about $300 a month. So everything that you guys do through Buy Me a Coffee has been contributing towards Levi. And I absolutely appreciate and love you for throwing that kind of support behind me and behind this channel. I will see you soon. And in the meantime, remember, stay hydrated. Above all else, please stay sweet. And I will have more stuff, even Temu and whatnot, when you see me next. Bye.